our GE13 coverage. Today we'll be taking a look at Malaysia's southernmost state, where Pakatan is hoping to penetrate a BN stronghold. And the stage is also set for the clash of two political giants, DAP Supremo Lim Kit Siang and caretaker Johor Menteri Besar Abdul Ghani Othman. But both are facing a political divide based on ethnic lines. And will they be able to blur these lines in time for polling day? Let's take a look at what both men have told voters in Johor.
So, the Chinese community here should look at in the context of mana satu kerajaan yang boleh diberikan kepercayaan. Jadi bila kita lihat Kit Siang bersekongkol dengan PAS dengan Anwar Ibrahim, I think they have to take that into account.
That we act, we think as Malaysians and not as Malays, Chinese, Indians. That is my dream. Is that also your dream? It is our common Malaysian dream.
Now joining us live from Johor is our correspondent Kuek Ser Kuang Keng, who's MalaysiaKini's assistant news editor. Now, Kuang Keng, you've been in Johor now for the past week, and yesterday you talked to us about how, both sides of the political spectrum are trying to cross these ethnic lines, and we know that DAP has sent an all-star team down south to win voters, and they've had, a lot of success with Chinese voters. But what has Pakatan been doing to try and win over Malay votes, since that seems to be the crucial question at this point?
Okay, currently we can see that first, they started with house-to-house visit and walkabout in the Malay areas. So now they are starting to do more small group ceramah. Those, range from about 10 to 50 people in small kampung and in all the residential areas as well as kampungs, And then also that they are now bringing in more national help with the campaign. Last night, Anwar Ibrahim came, and tonight we will have PKR President Wan Azizah, as well as their strategist Rafizi Ramli is also coming.
So, going back, before we go to the Anwar question though, with regards to winning over Malay voters, has DAP kind of left it to PKR and PAS to do that, or is DAP also trying to do that?
It's kind of a funny situation here. I think that at first, there is this distribution of PAS, that PKR and PAS will take care of the labels. But judging from that, the machinery of PKR and PAS is not as strong as expected. I think DAP has now moved into Malay areas by themselves. But of course, they will also rope in other Malay leaders from Pakatan Rakyat to help them to win over the Malay votes.
Okay, now let's go to Anwar. He was just there last night. Was the turnout unexpected?
Okay, Anwar last night he went to a few parliamentary constituencies. He went to Tebrau and then Johor Bahru and then Batu Pahat as well as Segamat. The two ceramahs, one in Batu Pahat and one in Segamat. The Batu Pahat it was in a kampung area, Sengarang, and then the turnout is about 1,000, which is which is quite normal. For that place, because it was a seat formerly held by PAS before. So I expect that PAS has a very good, strong support there. But what surprised me was the turnout at Segamat. According to our reporters there, the turnout was almost 20,000 of people in the town of Segamat. Mostly Chinese, but also with significant numbers of Malays. So which means that before this, the momentum of Pakatan Rakyat is only very limited in southern Johor area, like Johor Bahru and Dalam Patang. We don't see such momentum in the central Johor, where Segamat is. Okay, so meaning that yesterday the attendants tell us that the momentum is building up very soon and very big in Segamat. So we expect BN will strike back very soon in Segamat tonight. In fact, tonight the Deputy Prime Minister Muhyiddin Yassin is going to Segamat.
Okay, but with the people who came to the ceramahs yesterday by Anwar, were they mostly a Malay crowd or was it multiracial? Because the aim now is to try and win Malay votes, right? So did they achieve that target?
Okay, the turnout in Sengarang, which is basically a Malay kampung, as I said, it's about 1,000. Pure Malay crowd. the attendance 1,000 for me, I think is quite fair. It's not really impressive, but it's quite fair because that is a past seat before. And in Segamat, we can see, majority are Chinese, but there are significant numbers of Malays in Segamat. And then also the Segamat is actually a mixed seat, The Chinese voters there is below 50%. So what I think is that, the ground is moving, even within the Malay voters in the central Johor. So I think that what Pakatan is going to do is to do more events in Malay areas, instead of focusing in the Chinese towns.
Okay, so given what you've seen yesterday, though, do you think Pakatan will be able to hit their 1/3 target of both parliamentary and state seats?
I think state seat is a bit difficult for them, and their target is actually parliamentary seats. So their target is about 10 seats of parliamentary seats out of 26 in Johor. So if I think that based on what we observe on the ground now, it's not there yet. It's not 10 seats yet. But maybe they can get about 5 or 6 seats. So it all depends on the coming week. How do they convince the Malays? The Malay voters who are really, most of them are not familiar with the opposition party, especially DAP. So the coming week, the focus will be on Malay seats. I think in terms of Chinese voters, the sentiment is already there. They follow the national sentiments, and I think the fan-seaters is just very small group. Whereas in Malay voters, I think that there is still a very large portion of fan-seaters who are still yet to make their mind. So the focus will be on them and how to win them, and what are the strategies will be the focus in next week.
But let's turn to BN. What has been their campaign strategy?
Okay, BN, the reporters here, we have been having this problem of getting BN's campaign events and activities. So first, that we suspect that maybe they don't inform media. They do a very low-profile campaigning. Basically, they are just consolidating their grounds. They are making activities and events in the Malay kampongs. Just consolidate their support there. And the second explanation is that maybe Barisan Nasional is very complacent in Johor because it has been a very stronghold of BN since a few decades. So maybe they are very comfortable, and that's why their machinery, their campaign is a bit sluggish. But we are not sure, we are still trying to determine what is the real situation. And then so in the coming few days, we will be running a lot of, we'll be following the UMNO candidates to their constituency, and then to see what is really happening there. But so far, we can see that DAP and PAS, PKR, they are very aggressive, engaging the voters. As for BN, it's really out of the radar of media. We're not sure what are they really doing there.
Perhaps they're kind of on defense rather than on attack mode, unlike Pakatan.
Yeah, that's true, because DAP is attacking, So what they need, what UMNO and BN need to do is just to defend, their territory. So basically, if you want to defend, you just talk to your supporters, You just trying to ensure them that their problem will be solved and things like that. You don't really have to go to like Pasar Malam or go to a coffee shop to engage them, because they're already under your network. You already have your JKKK, you already have your grassroots machinery, which can reach them house by house.
But what about, how does that work in terms of Felda votes though? Felda is often seen as BN's vote bank. Is that, does that still hold, or has Pakatan been able to make inroads with this population as well?
Okay, on Felda, I think that things are changing as well, but especially in those Felda very close to urban cities, I have been to one Felda settlements near Kulai town, which is about 5 minutes to Kulai. And I observed that there was a PAS ceramah there, and then the attendance was about 50 of them, which is quite impressive in Felda, because sometimes I remember during the turnout by-election, the opposition machinery couldn't even enter Felda to campaign. So this time, not only entering Felda, but the fact that we can hold ceramah there, does tell a difference. But for those Felda very far away from town, which is less exposed to information and alternative information, I think the situations here not much different. They still remain status quo. They still remain BN stronghold. But now the opposition is banking on young voters, young Felda settlers. They have, from what I understand, they have a special task force to engage all the young Felda settlers through Facebook. They will trace the Facebook account one by one and then send them with messages every day. So they are thinking that they are quite optimistic that this time they can get up to 30 to 40% of Felda votes. Basically, all the young voters, which is their target.
All right, and there's lots going on. What can we expect in the week to come? Are there any highlights?
Okay, the week to come, that since Anwar has just came here yesterday, I think that more national leaders from opposition will come here. And as well as this weekend, we are also expecting Prime Minister Najib Abdul Razak to come here on the 29th. And then, I think more Pakatan leaders, national leaders will focus more time in Johor. So we'll have a very hectic campaign here. And we'll see more actions here. And the situation is very fluid. It may change anytime.
All right, please keep us posted. Kuang Keng there joining us live from Johor. I'm Temli Tian Mei. Stay tuned to Kini TV for more reports in the run-up to polling day.